Hello everybody, welcome back. It's time to get out in the yard again and see what's going on with the yard. Early spring, got some things to take care of, but first thing I got to take care of is a little bit of change of news for me. So most of you know that back in early December I had a little slip, trip and fall and dislocated my elbow, broke some bones in it, and I've been the bionic man for a significant amount of time. Well, thankfully I'm no longer the bionic man. I'm just back to being non-mastery, so I've got the arm, I'm ready to go. So that's going to let me get back out in the yard and do some things. So one of the things I had an issue with is because I couldn't pick up a whole lot of weight and do a lot of those things, is I couldn't get done working early on with sharpening my lawnmower blade. So to get that spring maintenance done, get those things ready to go. So I'm getting out today, going to sharpen up my lawnmower blades. See how those go. And I do the sharpening of my mower blades just a little bit different than some other people probably. So a lot of people use a grinder or an angle grinder or something like that. I just don't have a good grinder, one that works for it. I don't have an angle grinder at all. So I end up using the old-fashioned hand file. Alright, so on my blades, you get some built up gunk, you get some paint and some things that are peeling off. I don't take the paint off like a lot of people do. So again, I've not got a wire brush or anything much more than what I've got by hand. So I just like to try and get some of this gunk off to start with, and some of the old grass is just sort of caked on there a little bit. And just get all that off, hit it with a scraper, hit it real quick with just a wire brush. Try and get both sides. Just trying to get the worst of that junk off of there. Again, it's, you know, taking care of the worst of it. So of course, you know, on the back I got both sides to take care of. So just scrape that off a little bit. All right. So, for the most part, I've got that, you know, cleaned up just a little bit there, and not having a vise or anything. Again, I'm just going to take that C-clamp and clip this thing down on there, and that's. Try and get a better view. Of course, we all know there's the angle here. We need to try and maintain that as close as possible. You can see on this blade, it's in pretty good shape. There's not too many chips or nicks. Just looking at that one, you know, it's in pretty good shape. You know, if we've got some big chunks out of it that we're not going to be able to repair, we may consider replacing it. But you know, this one looks like it's in pretty good shape, so we're going to be able to maintain this hopefully for the year. But seeing that angle, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in with that file, and I want to find that angle, and I just want to maintain it and go across. Okay, so just taking small bites. We're not a grinder, so we're not going to get as much as you would with that. It's not going to be the fastest process, but I think it gives a pretty consistent angle once you get used to doing it. So hopefully this won't slide around on us too much. Usually it starts out sliding around a little bit, but so I just take some files. I'm going from that corner all the way out to the edge. Now remember, I'm left-handed, so I do things just a little bit backwards. You know, if you're righty, you're probably going to go into this. Only deal is for me, a great thing about being left-handed is how this sort of bites in at the corner. I'm able to get a pretty good bite at it. And this one back in the corner needs it just a little bit more, so we're just going to take some strokes at it. Now, you can take a look at it. You know, just like a grinder, you've got that nice shiny edge. Now, I like to go just hit on this back side, make sure there's no kind of burrs and spurs, and if there are, any kind of little burrs to it, I'll just take my file back. And again, because I've been going up with it this way. I don't want to try and push a little burr over the front of it. I just want to take it off. If it's in there, I just turn that around and just lay that file flat on there. Make sure all that is nice and clean. Hopefully you got an idea of how you can sharpen up your mower blades, not having to utilize a grinder, an angle grinder, something like that maybe you don't have, or you're like myself, I've got a little bench grinder and the thing just seems to be too underpowered to do a whole lot when it comes to sharpening the blades. So, you know, going to the store, getting something cheap, just a flat file, a wire brush, and the C-clamp, I'm able to take care of that pretty quickly. You know, it doesn't take much longer to do it by hand than it would to utilize a grinder to do it. So I also feel like again, get to maintain a little bit better angle and do that, not get sloppy with it. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try and get some more content out. I know I've said that I'm going to get the little overview of my soil tests and how things are and some of the surprises I had in that. And I'm just going to get out in the yard and look around and see how things are going this spring coming out of winter, where we stand with some different weeds and how maybe I'll take care of that as the year goes along. But thank you for your time. Hope you really enjoyed and learned something out of this today. We'll talk to you later.